The Lotus by Toru Dutt. Flowers have always held a special place in literature. They symbolize beauty, purity, love, power, and even cultural identity. Among the many flowers celebrated in poetry, the rose is often admired in Western literature, while the lily represents grace and innocence. But what happens when a poet is asked to choose between those two beautiful flowers? Toru Dutt answers this question in her short yet meaningful poem. The lotus, instead of choosing one flower over the other, she celebrates the lotus as a symbol that combines finest qualities of both. Toru Dutt was one of India's earliest poets to write in English, although she lived for only 21 years. She left behind a remarkable literary legacy. Her poetry reflects her deep appreciation of Indian culture while drawing inspiration from Western literary traditions. In Lotus, she successfully brings together these two worlds. The poem begins with a gathering of flowers in the garden. The flowers appeal to Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers, and Spring, to decide which among them deserves the highest honor. Two flowers immediately emerged as strong contenders, the rose and the lily. The rose proudly proclaims its place because of its rich color, sweet fragrance, and long lasting reputation as the queen of flowers. In many cultures, the rose symbolizes beauty, love, and passion. The lily, however, is equally admired. It is associated with purity, innocence, peace, and elegance. Its graceful appearance has made it a symbol of spiritual perfection in many traditions. Unable to choose between these two magnificent flowers, Flora faces a difficult decision. At this moment, love, represented by Cupid here in this poem, Cupid being the god of love from classical mythology, offers like a wise solution to this problem. Instead of selecting either the rose or lily, he proposes creating a new flower that possesses the color of the rose and the purity of the lily. From this harmonious union emerges the lotus. Thus, the lotus becomes a flower that combines the finest qualities of both. It possesses the beauty and richness of the rose while retaining the grace and purity of the lily. Although the poem is brief, its meaning extends far beyond flowers. Lotus holds a unique place in Indian culture. It's an Indian national flower and has been revered for centuries in art, religion, philosophy, and literature. It symbolizes purity because it rises clean and beautiful from muddy waters. It also represents spiritual awakening, wisdom, and resilience and inner strength. By choosing the lotus instead of either the rose or the lily, Toru that quietly celebrates the richness of Indian culture while acknowledging the beauty of Western traditions. Rather than presenting them as rivals, she shows that true beauty lies in harmony and synthesis. One of the poem's most striking features is its use of mythology. Toru that introduces Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers, and Cupid, the Roman god of love. These classical references reflect her familiarity with European literature and mythology. At the same time, the poem concludes by celebrating the lotus, a flower deeply rooted in Indian civilization. This blending of Western mythology with an Indian symbol reflects Toru Dutt's own identity as an Indian writer, educated in both Western and Eastern traditions. From a literary perspective, the poem is simple yet elegant. Its structure it resembles a short narrative unfolding like a miniature story with characters, dialogue, conflict, and resolution. Unlike descriptive nature poetry, the lotus tells a complete story while conveying a deep symbolic message. The language is graceful, clear, and musical. Through that avoids complicated expressions allowing the symbolisms to speak naturally to the reader. The poem makes effective use of personification by giving flowers the ability to speak and express their opinions. Flora and Cupid also function as symbolic characters who guide the story towards its meaningful conclusion. The central symbol, of course, is the lotus itself. It represents a harmonious blending of beauty, purity, and cultural unity. Rather than rejecting one tradition in favor of the other, the lotus embodies the best qualities of the both. If we analyze the poem using the smile approach, several important aspects emerge. The structure is simple and narrative, representing a debate, presenting a debate that reaches a satisfying resolution. The meaning emphasizes unity, cultural harmony, and the celebration of balanced excellence instead of competition. The imagery is vivid and colorful. Readers can easily imagine the fragrant rose, the elegant lily, and radiant lotus emerging as a perfect flower. The language is rich in symbolism, personification, and classical illusions while remaining accessible and lyrical. The overall effect is one of admiration and appreciation. The poem encourages readers to recognize that true greatness often comes from combining the finest qualities of different traditions rather than treating them as opposites. Several important themes emerge from the poem. These include beauty, purity, cultural identity, harmony, unity and diversity, synthesis of Eastern and Western traditions, appreciation of nature, and the celebration of Indian heritage. One of the poem's greatest achievements is its quiet confidence. Toru that does not criticize Western culture or claim that Indian culture is superior. In fact, he respectfully acknowledges the beauty of both before presenting the lotus as a symbol that unites their strengths. This balanced perspective reflects a remarkable maturity, especially consider the poet's young age. Even today, the lotus continues to resonate with readers. In a world where cultures often seem divided, the poem reminds us that diversity should not lead to conflict. Instead, different traditions can enrich one another, creating something even more beautiful. Through a simple story about the flowers, Toru Death delivers a timeless message of harmony, cultural pride, and unity, all using flowers. Thank you for listening.